Let's kick this week off with a scandalous affair. It's been dubbed Dieselgate, and it had Northern Hemisphere nations up in arms. It's the VW emissions debacle. We thought we'd set our motoring specialist, Juliet, loose on this story to tell you why it matters.
We all care about the environment, right? But what do you do about the effect your driving is having on this precious earth? Well, manufacturers have taken on this responsibility for us and ensured that the cars we drive emit the lowest CO2 emissions possible. Or have they? A much-loved brand in South Africa is under the spotlight after it emerged that they've allegedly been lying about their emissions numbers. Volkswagen fitted approximately 11 million cars with a code that tricked regulators into under-recording noxious emissions. So VW's diesel engines actually have a much higher number than we have been led to believe. The public perception of diesel engines seems to be that of an environmentally friendly source of fuel. This attitude has had particular prevalence in Europe, making up 75% of all diesel car engines sold. While it may be true that diesel engines emit less carbon and can be more energy efficient than petrol engines, they have other problems that make them potentially very harmful to the environment. Diesel engines generate higher nitrogen oxide emissions, which, in combination with organic compounds and sunlight, result in pollutants that cause smog, respiratory illness, and increased chances of death from heart and lung disease. Children and those who suffer from respiratory diseases such as asthma are particularly susceptible to adverse effects of smog and its resulting damage to the lungs. Manipulating sustainability performance data in order to achieve a greater market share is not only incredibly unethical, but it could have a significant effect on VW's performance in the future. The company is under huge pressure to address the worst business crisis in its 78-year history, which has wiped more than a third off its market value, sent shockwaves through the global car market, and could harm Germany's economy. This whole scandal comes just after VW had overtaken Toyota as the #1 car manufacturer in the world. VW claim that they will put aside 6.5 billion euros in order to cover the costs of making the cars comply with pollution standards. The crisis is an embarrassment for Germany, which has for years held up Volkswagen as a model of its engineering prowess and has lobbied against some tighter regulations on automakers. The German car industry employs more than 750,000 people and is a major source of export income. It's one thing to make a mistake. Gosh, we've all had those days when numbers just aren't our friend. But when you purposefully rig numbers to lead your customers to believe they are living a more environmentally friendly lifestyle, well, I don't know how you come back from that. But as reports suggest, Volkswagen will be doing everything in its power to get back in its customers' good books, as well as remain one of the world's top-selling manufacturers.